we are playing Aviary Attorney again. We're going to continue from where we left off the other day. Should be Act 2. January 7th, 1848. The Palais de Louvre. Ooh, a painting. Oh my god. That wasn't a painting at all. It is a murder. Act 2. A fox among wolves. Pardon. I knew Falcon wouldn't feel like turning up to the office on Friday. But now it's midday on Monday, and there's still no sign of him. This is becoming a little concerning. I should probably go find him. His home would be a good place to start, but the bird brain never gave me his address. I'll just have to find him the hard way. Yay. We will start at the Palace of Justice. No sign of Falcon here. Excuse me, Rupert. Oh, it's you, the first-year dropout. Hey, I didn't drop out. I was forcibly ejected. But that doesn't matter right now. I'm looking for Falcon. Have you seen him? Falcon? The guy who somehow blundered his way through the Catterline trial with the help of some very dubious evidence? No, I haven't seen him since the trial. Oh, well, thanks anyway. Chateau Crinière. Excuse me, mademoiselle, do you halt? Down here. Oh, there you are. It's Sparrison, right? That's right. I heard about the case you were involved in. I never would have thought that the Baron was a murderer. He always treated me with the utmost respect. But then I suppose it makes sense that the most ruthless killers are the ones who can put up the best facade. Yeah, I suppose so. Say, how's your friend doing? He seemed a little down last night. Oh, you've seen him? Yes, he was brooding in the corner of La Canardiole. Pronouncing French is hard. I dislike it. Mumbling and drinking. It was a little depressing, to be perfectly honest. La Canardiole? That's the dingy student bar on Rue Jarre, right? It's not dingy, just a little rustic. In any case, that's an enormous help. Thanks, mademoiselle. Anytime, Sparrison. To Le Canardiole. Sparrison steps through the door of Le Canardiole, the dingiest student tavern in all of Paris. His nostrils fill with the pungent aroma of sour wine and bitter tobacco. Well, ruffle my feathers if it isn't little Sparrison. I haven't seen you in years. How are you doing, hun? Methinks a little bit of quality assurance might benefit this game a little bit. I mean, most issue I've seen is with the text, but still. Few slip-ups so far. I'm feeling pretty good, Madame Quanel. Thanks for asking. I'm actually here to find a friend. He's a big guy named J.J. Falcon. Falcon? Yep. Falcon? Yep. That sorry lump has been here all weekend. He's just been moaning and muttering to himself all weekend. Frankly, he's bringing the whole atmosphere down. I'll take care of him. Thanks, Madame Quinnell. It's no problem, hon. He's probably still in the corner of the drinking room, upstairs. No sign of him. Mon Dieu. I almost stepped on the big fellow. Falcon? What are you doing on the floor? Hey, Falcon, wake up. Wow, the bird's completely out cold. He must have drunk this place dry. Let's see, how do you wake up a drunk person? Well, I guess it's time for a rude awakening. Wakey wakey. Ah, good, you're up. Are you with us, Falcon? Yeah. Feeling sober? We should probably head back to the aviary office so we can get some work done. I don't understand it, Sparrowson. Huh? I thought I did everything right. I followed all the procedures. I found all the evidence. I presented the case beautifully.
You just got a mature warning.
What? Oh, okay. Cool. Good to know. Thanks for the heads up and thanks for the adjustment. I need to bring this window back down here. Okay, we'll do it like that for now. And yet a guilty feline walks free while an innocent man sits in custody. What went wrong? Where's the justice? I don't know, Falcon. Sometimes the system just doesn't work, I guess. It should work. Yeah, it probably should. Sorry, Falcon. I don't have the answers. But what I do have is freshly baked croissants from Pierre's brother. Croissants. Yep, they're waiting for you back at the aviary. I'm sitting here moping about justice and you offer me croissants. Well, it's not just croissant. I've got some pains à chocolat too. I could go for pains à chocolat. Fantastic. Then let's make a move. Alright, I admit it. These croissants are amazing. I told you, Pierre's Molinaro on Rue Verde is something else. Oh, that reminds me. The baker told me something interesting. Do you know what they call pains à chocolat in America? They don't call them pains à chocolat? No, pronunciation difficulties. Hey! American is a whole nother language. It is. So what do they call them? Chocolate croissants. Huh? That's what those are. Hello? Chocolate croissants. What do they call... Profiteroles? What? Oh, I think they still call those... Yeah, I think those are still profiteroles. But rather than custard, they fill them with ice cream and smother them in melted chocolate. Simply outstanding. Is this the aviary attorney? Can I speak to someone, please? Well, what do they call crepes? Excuse me! Did you hear something, Sparrowson? Down here. Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. What can I do for you, little one? Oh gosh, where to start? Your name, perhaps? Mousy. My name is Mousy. And what can we do for you, Monsieur Mousy? I have this friend, and he has fallen under some legal turbulence. Legal turbulence? You mean he's been arrested? Yes, I suppose so. They're saying he's a murderer, but he didn't do it. He didn't do it. That's quite a problem. I know. Oh, but I forgot to mention, he's the Prince of Spain. Interesting. The Prince of Spain? And you didn't think that was worth mentioning from the start? I forgot. I must ask, Mousy, why did you come to us? I would have thought that the Spanish royal family would hire legal counsel with a little more... not terribleness? Expertise. Oh, the prince has great faith in your lawyering skills, Monsieur Falcon. He said that your reputation as a lawyer was renowned. Really? The prince said that? This is a great opportunity, Falcon. Surely you wouldn't deny a request from the Prince of Spain. Of course not. We'll take the case. Of course we'll take the case. Grab your coat, Sparrowson. We have royalty to defend. That's the spirit. Good luck to you, messieurs. You aren't coming with us, Mousy? I have other matters to attend to. But Prince Juan is being held in the concierge. I'm sure he will fill in all the details. Right, let's make a move then. If I find out he's guilty too, I'm gonna be really upset. Le concierge. Bonjour. Good day, monsieur. Oh, it's you two again. Hey, nice work on Lady Kitten's trial. Ben is pacing around the cell right now, ranting about wringing your neck. Yeah, I'm not surprised. He's super mad, but hey, a criminal's a criminal, right? If the lion didn't want a death sentence, he probably shouldn't have killed a guy. Oh. Oh no. We've murdered him. Oh, you're not here to defend him, are you? Because that would be hilarious. We're actually here to see Prince Juan Querido. Prince Juan Querido. I can say Spanish things, but the French thing has messed up my mouth. My tongue cannot process. Anyways, the heir to the throne of Spain. The mouthy fox, huh? That guy's driving me nuts with his señores and his flamboyant attitude. I say the sooner he hangs, the better. Well, come on then, while we're young. The Prince of Spain, I presume. Indeed, I am Juan Querido, heir to the throne of España, and you must be the legendary lawyer, Señor J.J. Falcon. Well, I wouldn't say legendary. I wouldn't even say notable. Such humility. I would expect nothing less from... And I'd made him French. Great. Consistent accents. Very hard. Such humility. I would expect nothing less from renowned individuals such as yourselves. But let us get down to business. I trust that my compañero Mousy explained the situation. He told us that you have been accused of murder, but we need some further details before we can start our investigation. Ah, of course. What is it that you wanted to know? Anything? Everything? Perhaps? I mean, it might help. To be honest, Prince Juan, I'm a little confused as to how a member of royalty could get in so much trouble. Could you walk us through your activities on the day of the murder? Of course. Let me see. Where to begin? It was the cold and misty morning of the 6th of January. I had heard that King Louis Philippe was unveiling a new painting at the Palais de Louvre. The Louvre. And wished to meet the man himself. So, after a brief stroll and picnic in Tarl Garden, I entered the palace. I found the royal entourage in Lièvre's Grand Gallery. When I saw an opportunity, I presented a humble gift to the king. A rose, an international symbol of passion and virtue. How romantic. But before the king could take it, a rather rude person snatched it from my fingers. It was a royal guard, a dog by the name of Major Howl. Okay. Ouch, cried out Major Howl. I've pricked myself upon the thorns of this dastardly flower. And then the Major slumped to the floor. His face turned blue, his mouth frothed, and he died. Oh, that's unfortunate. He died straight away after being pricked? Straight away, senor. It's obvious that the pricked finger was the cause of death, but I don't know of any poison that acts so fast. Nor do I, Senor Falcon. But clearly the police The police felt that the poison upon the rose's thorns was the only logical explanation. And with so many witnesses, even the king himself, what could I say to defend myself? So where did this rose come from? I acquired it from a beautiful Parisian flower seller at Le Howl's Market. A girl by the name of Catherine Marie Signier. But surely you're not suggesting that the flower girl applied the poison herself, Senor Falcon? Well, I'm not making any accusations yet. I'm just planning to explore every line of inquiry. Poison rose has been added to your evidence folder. Did you want something else, Senor Falcon? Why did you come to Paris, Prince Juan? I was on a diplomatic mission. I do not know whether you are familiar with current events, but you may have heard that my country is in a state of turmoil. Contenders for the Spanish throne are slandering, plotting, backstabbing. One moment. I must hydrate. Contenders for the Spanish throne are slandering, plotting, backstabbing. It's chaos, and the people are suffering. So I thought, if I can befriend some French royalty, perhaps even the king himself, maybe I can strengthen my family's name. With the Querido dynasty restored, I would have a chance at bringing peace to my beautiful nation. Well, I guess that's a plan. I guess that plan's got out the window. Sparrowson, don't be rude. No, he's right. I failed terribly. Don't fret, Prince Juan. We'll do everything in our power to clear your name. Maybe once the dust is settled, you will have another opportunity to speak with King Louis Philippe and complete your mission. Thank you, Senor Falcon. I am sure you will do your best. Was there anything else you wanted to ask? What were you reading before we so rudely interrupted? Ah, this book? It's a Spanish classic, Don Quixote of La Mancha. Do you know it? I've read it. It's a strange story. I don't know whether I'm supposed to be laughing or crying over the hero's misadventures. Indeed, it's easy to read the book as a comedy, but when I look around, I can't help but see all the people who think themselves as knights. I have no idea what you are two are prattling on about. Not a book lover, Senor Sparrowson. I dabble. It's just, most of my reading material tends to be on the lighter side, nice and pulpy. I see. Well, how about this, Senor Sparrowson? I will lend you this book. Maybe you will have a chance to read it. And then you'll be able to join in our conversation. Thank you. I'll keep it in my bathroom. For toilet reading material, of course. El ingenioso de Hidalgo Don Quixote de la Mancha has been added to your evidence folder. Was there anything else you wanted to know? No, I think that's everything, thank you. What's the plan, Big Bird? Well, we have two lines of inquiry. We should head to the scene of the crime, the parallel, and see if we can find any clues or witnesses. And we should interview the flower girl in that market to see if she has anything to say about this alleged poison rose. Two tasks spread over for 6 days? That almost sounds too easy. Let's not get complacent. Good luck, senores. I have 6 days to do this? What? Wait a minute, Falcon. What is it? Did something seem off about Prince Juan to you? He seemed colorful to me, throwing roses, spouting about literature. Juan's one suave Spaniard. Maybe I misread him. Well, look. If this is bothering you, then we could always ask around. Maybe someone in the city knows Juan's dirty secret. If he actually has anything to hide, that is. Yeah, let's dig up the dirt. Ah, I see. But we've still got a trial to prepare for. Priorities, Sparrowson. A new day. Okay. We will start here. Really, Falcon? I thought you were done with your mopey drinking. Not here to drink, Sparrowson, or mope for that matter. Taverns are a fantastic hub of information. If you wish to get to learn more about this Prince Juan, then this would be the ideal place to start asking questions. Oh, that's pretty good thinking. Ah, you two are back. Are you feeling better, Falcon? Much better. Thank you for asking, Madame Corral. That's great to hear, Anne. Will it be the usual? No. I'm back to investigative work today, so I've got to keep sharp. We wanted to know if you've seen a Prince of Spain around here lately. A Prince of Spain? I don't know if you've noticed, hon, but this isn't exactly the classiest pub in Paris. I'm lucky to serve the occasional bourgeois. You can forget about seeing a member of royalty. That's a pity. Maybe I should ask some of your patrons. Feel free. The old regulars, Rufus and Powell, are playing cards in the attic, same as always. But we get all sorts of colorful characters in the drinking room. I bet if you rattled enough cages, you'd find someone who knows whatever it is you want to know. Thank you, madame. Let's see, where to start. Let's go to the top. Top down. Come on, Powell. Just one more game of Jacques Noir. Absolutely not. My wallet is hurting enough as is. Please? I'll even let you deal this time. The answer's no, Rufus. I'm skint. If you want to play cards, you will have to ask someone else. Fine. I'll ask that big fellow. Excuse me, monsieur. Yes, you, monsieur. Would you care to play some Jacques Noir? Sure. Absolutely. Deal me in, monsieur. Very well. Do you know how to play? No. Nope. I'm only familiar with Sigo and Tap Tarok. Oh, this is much better than those silly games. Let me tell you how it works. I have a deck of cards with values between 1 and 11. I deal you one card at a time. If you hit 21, you win. I give you 5 francs. 5 francs? That seems a little steep. This is a man's game, monsieur. Only children gamble over petty sorrows. Besides, higher stakes make for a more exciting game, right? I suppose so. So it's blackjack. Hit. Hit! Ah! That was a stupid move to do. Deal me in. I'll do it again. Now, if find out I'm terrible at blackjack. I will stand. Haha! I have won. Well played, monsieur. Here's your pound. Uno mas. I best stay where I'm at. Haha! Well played, monsieur. Here's your pound. Shall I have another round? I could probably do this forever and get a lot of money. No, I think we're done. Maybe another day, monsieur. I understand. Feel free to come back anytime. What? I don't even get to ask them questions. What? Ah, that's stupid. Fine. So there I was, in the grasslands 10 kilometers down the river, rifle in hand. I had been pursuing this set of footprints for an hour. I was getting closer and closer. I could almost smell the beast. Then I spotted it. It was a boar, a pig, stupid boar, completely oblivious to my existence. Bye. I readied my gun, I carefully took aim, and then bam! You shot it. No, it was the most peculiar thing. The boar slumped over dead right before I could take a shot. Sounds like one of them heart attacks. My nan went the same way. Also, these Frenchmen are British now. Because I said so. That's what I thought. But when I went to take a closer look, I noticed the boar was frothing at the mouth. Whoa, it was rabid? Possible, but I don't think so. I remembered reading something about frothing around the mouth being a symptom of poisoning. Needless to say, I left the dead animal alone. Good call. Who wants to deal with the tainted meat? Ooh, I'm gonna ask about that boar. Excuse me, monsieur. Yes? Can I help you? You say the beast you were tracking might have died from poisoning? Could you give us some further details? Further details? I'm not much of a poison expert, I'm afraid. Well, what do you think caused it? I would guess that it ate something bad. I saw some of that poisonous plant around. Wolfsbane, I think they call it. But really, I have no idea. I'm a hunter, not a vet. Excuse me. Excuse me, monsieur. What is it? I don't suppose you've seen a Juan Querido around here. He's Spanish royalty. Foxy fellow, swanky hat. Calls everyone senor. That doesn't sound familiar. Do you recall seeing anyone like that, Piero? I ain't got a clue. Sorry, messieurs. You're barking up the wrong tree. Well, what can you tell us about the Spanish royal family? Do we look like walking encyclopedias or something? I'm afraid my compadre has a point. If you want to talk about hunting, then I'm your man. But Spanish royalty? That sounds like a question to be answered at a library, monsieur, not a tavern. A library? Maybe you're right. Sorry for bothering you, monsieur. Leave them be. Let's give them some peace. Are we ready to hit the road? Sorry about that. Wednesday. So we've got 5 more days, so we gotta go to all these places. Heck. Let us go to the bibliothèque. Have a little light reading now, eh? Blah. Not quite, Sparrowson. I'm following the hunting beagle's advice. Don't eat poison pork? The other piece of advice. That if we want to learn about a member of the royalty, we should hit the library. Oh, that makes sense. Say, Falcon, I've been meaning to ask, since we're in a library and all, are you a classic literature fan, or do you prefer more modern works? I like the classics, you know? That sort of thing. Don't try to act smart. I saw you reading that book of naughty limericks the other day. You didn't think I would notice because you put a dull-looking slipcover on it. But I knew, Falcon. I knew. Would you, messieurs, mind lowering your voices? I can hear you squawking from the other side of the building. My apologies, monsieur. We'll keep it down. Wait, you're a librarian, aren't you? An astute observation, yes, monsieur. As the only quiet person in the library, I am most assuredly the librarian. Well, now that we have your attention, my friend wants to ask you something. I do? Oh, right. I do. Don Quixote. Interesting. You seem like a scholarly, well-read individual. I'm sure you're up to date on geopolitical news and the like. I don't need your praise. Spit out whatever imbecilic question is in the back of your throat. Ah, well, we understand the Spanish throne is currently under dispute. Can you give us a brief rundown on who the contenders are? What a trivial question. Not even an elementary school child can name the immediate heirs to every throne in Europe. Yeah. But for the sake of those children who slept through that class, can you refresh our memories? Very well, pay attention, because I'm not repeating myself. The current reigning monarch of Spain is Queen Regnant Isabella II of the House of Bourbon, daughter of King Ferdinand VII. Upon her death, the crown would likely fall to her husband, King Consort Francis, Duke of Cadiz. Although it certainly seems possible that an immediate family member could stake a claim. However, the Queen's position is currently being disputed by the Carlists, headed by the Count of Montmartre. I hope that answers your question. Did you catch all of that, Sparrowson? Not a word. Monsieur, we're actually interested in Prince Juan Querido of Spain. I don't think I heard that name in your explanation. The Prince Juan Querido? Is that what you said, Monsieur? Monsieur, I think you've been misinformed. There is no current Prince of Spain, and I'm not even sure Querido is a real name. It is certainly no line of Spanish monarchy. How strange. What does this mean, Falcon? Well, one thing is for sure, our client is not the Prince of Spain. Maybe he's a delusional lunatic, or perhaps he's involving us in some sort of con. Delusional lunatic, you say? And you handed us a copy of Don Quixote. Although, the red herring in the last case was not actually a red herring. Interesting. We don't belong before the trial. We don't have long before the trial, but it may be in our interest to confront Prince Juan directly and get some answers. Right. Are you two quite done with chit-chatting? I borrowed this book from a friend. What can you tell us about it? Don Quixote of La Mancha? It's a classic. Everybody has read it. Yeah, everybody. But for those who haven't... I'm not going to sit here and summarize a great work of literature for two imbeciles who are too lazy to read. Nor would I expect you to, monsieur. But what can you tell us about the physical book itself? This particular book didn't come from any library, if that's what you're asking. See, there's no library stamp or card. I assume it was acquired from a bookshop. A French bookshop, if the French translation and publishing information wasn't a giveaway. I see, thank you. Did you have any other questions, or can I get back to work? Don't worry, monsieur. I think we are done here. Thank you for your time. I bid you good day. Okay. You again? Visiting hours are over. Come back later. I have no time for quibbling, monsieur. Stand aside. You can't talk to me like that. I most certainly can. We have reason to believe that you are housing a suspect under false pretenses. That is in direct violation of statutes 204B and 488C of the French Criminal Code of Justice. Failure to comply with that request may result in you, yes, you, monsieur, being held directly responsible for any consequential legal action. All right. No need to break out the legalese on me. I'll go open the cell. Well, Falcon, how did you memorize those criminal codes? Memorize? Come on, Sparrowson. Learn how to bluff. That's great. Ah, Senor Falcon. It is good to see you again. You have some good news about my case, I hope. Well... Listen, Juan. In order to maximize our chances of a successful trial, I need to know every bit of information. I can't work with half-truths. If you tell me one thing, and the prosecution's evidence tells me another, then we're in trouble. I'm afraid I don't quite follow, senor. Do you want me to spell it out? I know that you are not the Prince of Spain. I know that your name is not Juan Querido. Where is this coming from? I assure you, senor, I am who I claim to be. If you want your trial to be a farce, then you don't need my help. Come, Sparrowson, we're leaving. Wait. Calm yourself, Monsieur Falcon. I'll reveal all. Did you just say, monsieur? What happened to your Spanish accent? Your suspicions were well placed. Juan Querido is not my real name. I am not the Spanish prince. That was just a persona I concocted for the purpose of getting arrested. Forget. Great. So what is your real name? What's in a name? It's just an empty label, a vapid reflection of who we really are. Today I'm Juan Querido, the Prince of Spain. Tomorrow I may be Bruno Rare, a pauper living under a bridge of the Seine. But that doesn't change who I am or what I do. That didn't really answer my question. No, I suppose it didn't. But you're a smart bird, Monsieur Falcon. I suspect that you already know my real name. Why would you want to get arrested? You're putting me in a difficult position, monsieur. If I tell you the full story, I'd be putting someone else in danger. How about this? I tell you a story. I like stories. There was a girl, a mademoiselle, who was in a great deal of debt. Everyone has a debt these days, monsieur. Indeed, but this particular mademoiselle was indebted to a very powerful man, and that man wished to collect. The mademoiselle had no means of paying, so the man offered her a deal. Murder this man, and I will forget what you are owed. Refuse, and I will reap what I am owed from your parents. With no alternative options, the mademoiselle accepted. But another man, a gallant knight with foolish, archaic notions of chivalry, heard the mademoiselle's story. The knight knew that the murder was inevitable, but he saw a way to take the fall in the mademoiselle's place. Do you understand what I am saying, monsieur? understand. I understand, monsieur. To be honest, it wasn't the subtlest of allegories. Storytelling was never my strong suit. But I'm glad that you see, or that you're seeing things from my perspective. Hopefully that sheds some light on the situation. I may ask, monsieur, why did you not just go to the police with the information that you had? The police are not always an option. What is a man to do when the justice system itself is the problem? I'll let you know when I figure that out, monsieur. Well, alright. Perhaps we should talk about something else in the meantime. Nah. I don't have any more questions for you, Juan. I think we've learned all we can for now. Really? I don't feel like we've learned very much. Oh, Monsieur Falcon, before I forget, could you find Mousy and ask him whether the birds have successfully flown south for the winter? Whether the birds have flown south? What is that, some sort of code? Something like that. But rest assured, monsieur, that this does directly pertain to the case. Well, if we have time, I'll be sure to let Mousy know. Let's make a move, Sparrowson. Trial day is approaching. Right. We will go to the scene of the crime. Falcon and Sparrowson make their way to the Palais de Carrousel, a courtyard just north of the Louvre's Grand Gallery. That's the Arc de Triomphe over there, right? I swear, it's smaller than how I remember. That's the Arc de Triomphe du Carrousel, you doofus. The big Arc de Triomphe is up the road. What? No way. Why are there two? Because when a man like Napoleon invades half of Europe, he gets to build as many triumphal arches as he damn well pleases. He's not wrong. Well, well, well. I never expected to see you here, JJ. That arrogant voice. Good day, Severin. Let's be civil, JJ. Why don't you introduce me to your new assistant? Fine, fine. Severin, this is Sparrowson, my assistant. Sparrowson, this is Severin Cocorico, the most pompous prosecutor in Paris. Oh, are you two old school friends or something? More like arch rivals. Please, JJ. I think arch rival implies some sort of competition. As I recall, we've met in court on 5 occasions, and on 5 occasions did you get humiliated terribly. I'm amazed a failing bird brain like you is still able to get clients. Actually, Severin, business has never been better. I'll have you know that I am currently employed by the Prince of Spain, no less. The Prince of Spain? Juan Corrido? Well, well, this is quite an amusing coincidence. Don't tell me. Correct, I am the prosecutor for the very same case. It's a pity that the Spanish prince will indubitably hang, but I suppose that is what he gets for hiring a bird brain to represent him. Don't call me bird brain. You're the only bird brain here, Severin. Only one always speaks badly when one has nothing to say. Voltaire. Uh-oh, he's giving you the verbal smackdown. Quick, Falcon, make a witty retort. Huh? Oh, yeah. I don't agree with your right to... Wait. I agree with what you say, but... Oh dear. Tsk. You're the same bumbling fool you've always been, Falcon. But enough talk. If you messieurs will excuse me, I have a case to prepare for. JJ, Sparrowson, I'll see you two in court. Cool. So, future reference. That's the only time his voice is going to sound like that. Because he's a rooster. And I messed it up. Because I should have instantly turned him into the rooster lawyer from Futurama. Which we will do next time we see him. Ugh. I can't stand that guy. He did seem like a bit of a cockerel. But is it true what he said? You know, that he trounced you in court 5 times? I can't deny it. Severin has a reputation as a ruthlessly thorough prosecutor. Mountains of evidence, surprise witnesses. It's no wonder he always manages to one-up me. But this time will be different, right? I hope so. I know so, for you see, I stole this annotated map of the Louvre out of Cocorico's pocket when he was busy rattling off Voltaire quotes. Sparrowson, that's pretty illegal and immoral. Stealing from another attorney? That's the sort of thing that gets lawyers disbarred on the spot. Oh, I didn't realize it was so serious. All right, I'll go give it back. I'll say he dropped it or something. Wait. There's no need to be so hasty. Let's have a look and see what the map says. We'll just take a peek. Just moments ago, you said that taking the map was illegal and immoral. Well, the act is done. It's not like peeking would be making the act double illegal. Plus, the extra information would even the playing field. It would help to create a balanced legal environment. That's a good thing, isn't it? When you put it like that, it would almost be illegal to not take a look. Yes. Yeah. Let's take a closer look. I see. This map follows the entire Louvre area. Everything from to Rue de Louvre. Most convenient. We're currently standing here in the Place de Curcel. And those penned-in arrows seem to show the route taken by the king's entourage, which means that the king first went here, to the Salle de Trône, and then here into the Grand Gallery, where the murder occurred. Didn't Prince Juan say that he spent the morning in the Trône Gardens? That's right. So that means Prince Juan approached the Lyon from the west side, somewhere over here. Sounds like we have a lot of places to visit. Where should we go first? So we're here. Our feather-headed friends wander through the immaculately maintained Tournois Gardens. Nothing seems out of the ordinary, until they spot a familiar face picking up litter by a tree line. Hey, Falcon, doesn't that groundskeeper over there look familiar? Groundskeeper? Yeah, now that I'm looking at him, he does look a lot like that photographer. What's his name? Robitio Rubinio. Robitio Rubinio. Did someone call me? Oh, it's you. The lawyers who don't appreciate a masterful photograph when they see it. It's good to see that you gave up on your artsy dreams to pursue the more grounded career of groundskeeping. Hey, I'm not doing this willingly. I was given community service for committing perjury. That's fair. Can you believe that? They gave me, an esteemed photographer, community service. Me! Yeah, I can believe that. Perjury is somewhat serious. You should be thankful that you got off without jail time. You sound just like that self-righteous Judge Maxime. So, did you two want to ask me something, or are you just here to gawp? Personally, I'm just gawping. Actually, I do have a couple questions, if you don't mind, Monsieur Rubinio. I don't suppose you've bumped into a Spanish fox who goes by the name of Prince Juan, have you? A Spanish fox? No, I've never met anyone like that. If this is about that assassination attempt on the king, then you're asking the wrong person. I only started working here today. I see. Is there anything else you wanted? So, how's the new groundskeeping job working out? Terrible. Tourists are pigs. Sometimes literally. Look at all the rubbish I found. Beer bottles, tin cans, apple cores. And look what I picked up by the west entrance. A book page. A whole book I can understand, but a single page? What kind of blithering moron loses just one page? Wait a moment. May I take a closer look at that, monsieur? Don Quixote. That's a page from Don Quixote. May I take it off your hands, monsieur? Sure. What's it worth to you? What's it worth? It's trash. It's literally worthless. And I suppose I'll be destroying it as per my duties. Alright. I suppose you deserve a little compensation for your trouble. How about you give me the page and... I'll pay you 5 francs. Easy money, right? 10. 6. 10. 8. 10. Wow, Falcon, you suck at bartering. Alright, fine. 10 it is. Take my damn money. Page 44 of El Ingenioso Hidalgo Don Quixote de la Mancha has been added to your evidence folder. Did you want to ask something else? Nah. That's all. I'll let you get back to work, Monsieur Rubinio. So I guess you can't look at it. Okay, it's fine. Let's go over here. So this is the Sala de Tibera. If I understand Cocorico's notes correctly, this is the room the king and his entourage stopped in before heading to the Grand Gallery. This room doesn't seem to be very popular. I don't see anybody around to interview. Right, interview. Well, since it's quiet, maybe we should take the opportunity to do a little snooping. What would be the point? Surely the interesting evidence would be in the Grand Gallery, where the murder took place. Think about it, Falcon. The police would have already gone over the Grand Gallery with a fine-tooth comb. But I bet that numbskull Inspector Valeti didn't even think to check this room for clues. There might be a murder weapon just under our beaks. Your logic seems a little questionable, but it couldn't hurt to have a look, I suppose. Ooh, we're doing the thing. It's going to be 90%. Oh, look, art. A shiny copper urn. I guess it was used for carrying water, or for cremated remains. Probably not both at the same time. It smells good. Don't sniff the exhibit, Sparrowson. No, really. This urn smells amazing. It's almost chocolatey. You poor thing. You're hallucinating from hunger. Would you like to stop by a bakery on our way back to the office? Don't patronize me, Falcon. My nose never lies. I'm telling you, there's something in here. I can feel it. Now you're touching the exhibit? That's definitely a no-no. See? Look what I found in the urn. Put that down, Sparrowson. It's someone's old rubbish. No, look. It's a chocolate wrapper. Judging by the smell, the chocolate was bitter and dark. 70, perhaps 80% cocoa. Belgian in origin. He knows his chocolate. The leather wrapper crumbling and the firmness of the chocolate residue indicate that this was discarded just a few days ago. Yes, I am certain. The chocolate contained in this wrapper was undoubtedly consumed on the 7th of January, the day of the murder. Wasn't it the 6th? Mon Dieu, Sparrowson. You deduced all that from smelling the wrapper? Imagine what I could do, or imagine what I could work out if I tasted it. That won't be necessary, Sparrowson. If you could apply this level of critical thinking to areas outside of food, you'd be the world's greatest detective. If only all evidence were edible. So, do you have any idea which shop this chocolate was purchased from? That might help us track down the person who consumed it. No, there's no possible way we could know that. I suppose we will just have to visit every confectioner in town and sample every bit of merchandise for comparison. What a chore. Interesting, because I can see Lenderhack-Sachs Chocolate Emporium written on the wrapper. Well, you can't blame a bird for trying. That was good. I'm not sure what this is. Some sort of stand or podium? Maybe it's just a decorative piece. It's a Roman doorstop. Roman doors were enormous marble slabs, so the door stops had to be similarly large in order to stay in place. I don't think that's right. My uncle's a Roman historian, trust me. These columns have been designed to look Roman. I think the style is Ionic. It's not Ionic, Falcon. Irony is when a character says something, but the reader knows it means something completely different. That's not... Never mind. I see a cabinet full of engraved plates, mostly bronze. How much do you think they're worth? I don't know. 300 francs apiece at least. What? Are you serious? I'm in the wrong profession. I don't think archaeology works as a get-rich-quick scheme, Sparrowson. Who said anything about archaeology? I'm going to become a museum robber. Oh, well, that's one way to get rich quick. This is some sort of ceremonial container. It's beautifully crafted, but what did it contain? Maybe it's an arcane wine cabinet. Don't be so ignorant, Falcon. This is a sacred Mesopotamian artifact gifted to Emperor Hadrian for his victory at Euphrates in 123 AD. Stop making stuff up. You and I both know nothing about Mesopotamia. Alright, you got me. This could be a hippo's chamber pot for all I know. A supporting column. It's holding up the roof up. If the column were truly supportive, it wouldn't hold the roof up. It would encourage the roof to get to its location on time. That's good. The humor is great. I think the one thing I needed, we already got. Good. We're done here, for now at least. We can't spend all day staring at Roman artifacts, I suppose. So where to next? The one place we haven't been. Here we are, the Grand Gallery, the murder room. I believe the murder occurred right under the new painting. I see hundreds of paintings. Which one is the new one? I haven't the foggiest. We'll have to ask someone. Please don't talk to me. Please don't talk to me. Excuse me, monsieur. You look like you know your Mona Lisas from your last suppers. I don't want any attention. Maybe he isn't talking to me. Nope, he's definitely talking to me. Keep it together, Eric. Oh, hi. Do you happen to know which painting was unveiled on the 7th of January? The one the king came to visit? Oh, yeah, I can help you with that. It's the piece right behind you. Ah, I see. The painting of the king himself. That's one noble-looking penguin. What do you think of it, Falcon? Oh. What do you think of it, Falcon? No. Gotta read the names. What do I think? Well, I'm no art critic, but... the careful brushstrokes, the pre-Raphaelite Raphaelite tones, soft tones, and the subliminal use of light. This is contrasted, nuanced work. It's an evocative painting that alludes to a forgotten era. You said a lot of words, but I'm not sure if I'm any closer to knowing your opinion. I'm getting the impression that you, messieurs, aren't regulars at art galleries. No, we're a pair of Philistines. Speak for yourself, Falcon. I've never been to the Middle East. Then I'm guessing you're here to investigate the king's assassination attempts? That's right. We were actually hoping we could ask you a couple of questions about what you saw. Oh, I wasn't even in Paris when the murder took place. I didn't see anything. But, I have a friend who might be able to help you out. What's this? R&M Associates, the home of Renard Vulpes, private investigator. Thank you, but I don't normally deal with these gray area of the law types. No, please, give the guy a chance. He helped me out in a bind before, and I'm sure he can do the same for you. Well, I'm not making any promises, but I'll keep hold of the card. We appreciate the help in any case. It's no trouble. Nice. Thank you for your time, monsieur. Is there anything else we can do here? Well, ideally we would turn the whole Grand Gallery upside down in our hunt for evidence. But that's not possible with so many people around. We should probably just move to another room. Are we all done investigating at the Louvre? Yep, let's make a move. Good call. We can always come back later if we've forgotten something. Occasionally, special cinematic scenes marked by an exclamation mark will pop up on the map screen. These cinematic scenes are only available for one day before disappearing, but they take no time to visit. Their viewing is entirely optional. Okay. So we have 2 days and we have to go to one of those three places, or two of those three places. Feck. A storm is brewing, my brother. Word of the royal assassination attempt has spread. The proletariats grew confident, the bourgeois cowering. It won't be long before we have rioting. And then a revolution. I don't like the sound of that. We'll go here. The pair arrive at Les Halles Market. Vendors and buskers, performers and thieves, bourgeois and peasants all bustle from place to place. Prince Juan said he met a flower girl here, Signe. I think he said her name was. There's a swan with flowers over there. Do you think that's her? I think so. It's possible that she knows the murderer, or even that she is the murderer herself. So we should probably act with tact and finesse. Excuse me, Mademoiselle Flower Lady. We would like a word. Tact, Sparrowson, tact. We've been over this. Good day, messieurs. Are you interested in purchasing a flower? Yes, I wish to purchase a rose from my lady. I'm afraid I'm out of roses. I sold my last one a week ago. Perhaps you would be satisfied with a chrysanthemum instead. 'Tis a beautiful flower, from a fair maiden. Please don't mind Sparrowson. He fell out of his nest as a baby, and has said dumb things ever since. Hey! Let me introduce myself. I am J.J. Falcon, defense attorney. Are you Mademoiselle Signy? That's right. Catherine Marie Signy. I suppose you're here to ask about the royal assassination attempt? How did you know? I'm no fool, monsieur. I know that the rose I sold was used as the murder weapon. To be honest, I'm surprised it's taken so long for someone to directly question me. The Parisian police seem to have a habit of missing obvious leads. So, do you mind if we ask you a couple questions? Business is slow. Please ask away. Who bought your last rose? Mademoiselle, you mentioned that you sold your last rose a week ago. Who did you sell it to? The person who bought the rose. I didn't catch his name, but he was a charming red fox. Sounds like our one. I met him around a week ago, on the 6th. We talked for a little while, about the usual things, you know, like how everyone seems to be in debt these days. Then he bought a rose and left. I hear the fox is on trial, but to be honest, monsieur, I don't think he's guilty. Oh, why's that? Well, actually, never mind. It's just a gut feeling. Mademoiselle, it just so happens that we're defending this particular fox in the Cour d'Assises. If you have something to say that could prove his innocence, now would be the time to let us know. I'm sorry, messieurs, I can't. Wait, Mademoiselle Signy, wait up. Damn. Nice display of tact and finesse, Falcon. You scared her off. This one obviously knows something crucial about the case. We need to get to the bottom of whatever it is. Agreed, but I don't think she'll be in the mood to tell us anything else. I know. Why don't we try acting with a little more tact and finesse? Hush. Yay. I want to find out about this chocolate bar. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Landers Hagelsack's Chocolate Emporium. The finest Belgian chocolate shop in all of Paris. I am Lander Hagelsack, the founder and owner of this establishment. I am J.J. Falcon, defense attorney. Good day, monsieur. Oh, lawyers. Oh, lawyers. Very fancy. I must say that I once dreamed of being a lawyer, but, well, circumstances wouldn't allow it. It's a funny story. You see, when I was a young boy, I befriended the son of a Hungarian attorney. Falcon, you have to help me. What is it? It's the smell, Falcon. It's overpowering me. It's demanding that I lay waste to the shop. Oh, for pity's sake, restrain yourself, Sparrowson. Oh, but I'm rambling again, aren't I? So, are you messieurs here to buy some chocolate? Yes! No. We're actually here on business, monsieur. Business? First things first. We believe that this chocolate wrapper originated from your shop. Are we correct? Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Yes. That is indeed the trademark Hagelsack wrapper for genuine Belgian Hagelsack chocolate. This was almost certainly bought from this very establishment. Very good. With that established, there is something else we wish to ask. Monsieur Hagelsack. Can you tell us who bought the chocolate that was contained in this wrapper, Monsieur Hagelsack? I'm afraid not, messieurs. Not just because matters of confidentiality, although that is a factor, you understand, but because I couldn't possibly know that. I thought elephants never forget. My memory is impeccable, monsieur, but you must understand that I have dozens of customers a day. There are hundreds of people who could have potentially bought this particular item. So your memory is good, but you need further information. If we were to give you the description of a name of a person, would you be able to tell us whether they purchased something from you? Oh, yes, that I could probably do, monsieur. Let me think. Who to ask about? I have a theory. Have you ever served a member of the Royal Guard by the name of Major Howell? No, monsieur. Are you sure? Yes, monsieur. I have served many soldiers, but I don't recall seeing a major here in recent memory. What does that mean, Falcon? Have we lost our lead? Not necessarily. It just means that Major Howell didn't buy the chocolate that may have killed him. There's still the possibility that someone bought the chocolate for him. That's our lead. That's who we want to find. I see. I did serve a high-ranking officer in the British Army who was on his way to Zimbabwe, if you want to hear that story. No, I don't want to hear that story. Let me think who to ask about. Have you ever served a porcupine art aficionado named Eric Pork? No, monsieur. Let me think who to ask about. Have you ever served Juan Querido, the Prince of Spain? A Prince of Spain? No, monsieur. Well, that's good to hear. Our clue would have turned into a dead end if our own client turned out to be the chocolate fiend. I did once serve a princess from Mali, if that is any help. You see, I met the girl while hiking through the Himalayas. Please stop. Messieurs, I'm growing tired with these endless inquiries. Mayhaps you should come back another day. You know, Falcon, it's possible that we just haven't encountered the chocolate fiend yet. Rather than coming back here every day and making aimless guesses, we should wait until we have someone specific in mind. You might have a point, Sparrowson. Thank you for your time, Monsieur Harlslach. We shall return when our investigation has progressed a little. Any time, messieurs. Welp, I wasted a day. Here we go. Once again, Falcon and Sparrowson find themselves waiting outside the doors of the Tribunal de Grande Instance. Are you feeling nervous, Falcon? Don't go silent on me now. Senor Falcon, I trust everything is in order? Absolutely. I have every intention of bringing the truth to light in this trial. Ah, such confidence. That's magnificent to see. And bringing the truth to light, you say? An admirable goal. No more jousting at imaginary giants. All of you cease your yammer. The door is open. Here we go. Buena suerte, Senor Falcon. We will. Are we ready? We're ready. We're not ready. We're bugged. JJ. I say JJ. Severin. Nervous? Why would I be nervous? I'm not nervous. I'm as calm as a cuckoo. You're the nervous one. The whole courtroom is nervous. Whoa, cool your feathers, Falcon. Terrible. Yeah. I say you can't even imagine a stoic facade. I thought this trial would be the perfect opportunity for you to redeem your previous, I say, embarrassments. But if this is how you act before the trial even started, Why, you pompous-tailed, posture-perfect... Order, order. Let's all settle down. Court is now in session. Psst, Falcon. What is it? Is it me, or does the primary judge look hairier today? That's a different judge to the one who resided over Dame Caroline's trial, you doofus. Oh, still, it's a little strange, isn't it? It is a little, I suppose. Excuse me, Your Honor. I was under the impression that Judge Maxime would be residing over this case. Where is he? Judge Maxime has gone on temporary sick leave due to a terrible accident with a flight of stairs. Okay. I don't like this. Something bad's about to happen. It's not cool. Rest assured, assessors, prosecutor, defense, and members of the jury, that I am more than qualified to fill his shoes. Without further ado, let's get the show underway. This is the trial of Prince Juan Corrido, who stands accused of murdering Major Howell and of conspiring to murder the king himself. Roll call. The defense is present and ready, Your Honor. I say the prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Good. Very good. I expect this to be a nice, speedy trial. I don't want to see this dragged out by technicalities and bureaucracy. Well said, Your Honor. I expect that once the court sees the overwhelming evidence, this trial will be over in 5 minutes. 5 minutes? It's just messing with your head, Falcon. Keep it together. So, we're all on the same page. Excellent. Prosecutor, please call your first witness to the stand. Very well, I call the officer who investigated the crime scene. I call upon Investigator Justin Volerti. Step up to the stand, Inspector, and recite the oath. I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Pardon. Please recite your name and occupation for the court record. My name is Inspector Justin Volerti. I am a servant to law, a scourge of the gutter rats. That will do, Inspector. We've all heard your monologue before. Whoa, Cocorico is really going for a speed record, isn't he? Now, can you tell us what you witnessed on the morning of the 7th of January? Of course. At 10 o'clock in the morning. At 10 o'clock in the morning, I was called to the Louvre's Grand Gallery by one of the King's Royal Guards. I have no idea what voice I gave him on Monday. Did he say o'clock? There I saw Prince Juan, King Louis Philippe, the corpse of Major Howell with a rose in hand, and around 24 citizens. The citizens and the king himself all attest to seeing Major Howell taking the rose from Prince Juan's hand and then promptly dropping dead. And what did the morgue uncover upon examination of the corpse? The coroner determined with absolute certainty that Major Howell died of poisoning. Aside from a prick on the finger, there was no sign of external harm to Major Howell's body. Therefore, their poison rose must have been the cause of death. Now see, if he was a dog and he ate the chocolate, I mean, chocolate's bad for dogs. Putting the pieces together, that does seem implicative of the prince. I have no further questions. Damn, I was hoping the coroner's report would determine that the guy died from a freak heart attack or something. That would make it for a particularly speedy trial, wouldn't it? But no, we aren't so lucky. Something else must be amiss in the old bird's testimony. Right, I'll tear it apart. Your Honor, I wish to cross-examine the witness. Falcon, wasn't it? Don't waste the court's time. A high-ranking police officer would never lie on the witness stand. I wouldn't accuse the inspector of lying. I just want to make sure that every base is properly covered. Ugh, this sounds like pointless nitpicking to me, but I'll allow it. For now. Go on, Falcon. Do your cross-examination. Okay. Select a statement to question. He did say o'clock. Missed that part. "10 o'clock, you say?" Correct, 10 o'clock. Surely you meant to say 10 o'clock. I beg your pardon? You clucked. Like a chicken. JJ, do you really want to kick off this trial by picking on Penny Brennan? Oh, that's good. Around 5 minutes, I happened to be in the neighboring Palais Royal. At the time, it was a simple journey. And I'm guessing that Major Howell would have been dead for around 10 minutes by the time you arrived. That would be a fair estimate. Plenty of time for a bad guy to slip away, huh? That's definitely a possibility. I don't think the court would appreciate my wild speculations, though. Do you have another question? Nah. Inspector, I would like to ask you about the victim, Major Howell. We've been treating the case as if the intended murder target was King Louis Philippe. But there was another possibility. What if the killer was trying to murder Major Howell from the very beginning? JJ, stop talking. You just said something very stupid. You just said something very stupid. I could explain why and humiliate you. I find it all hot. Alternatively, you could retract your question right now, and I'll save humiliation for another day. Second thoughts, I retract my question. A wise choice. Damn it. Inspector, you say there were around 24 citizens, all of whom attest to seeing my client deliver the poison rose. Oh boy, when you put it like that, our situation seems a little dire, doesn't it? Correct. We collected precisely 22 testimonies, and there were no major inconsistencies. I would like some further details. What exactly did the testimonies say? Each citizen attested to seeing the king and his entourage approaching the new painting in the Grand Gallery. They had heard the king deliver a short speech, which was on the subject of progress and societal improvements and whatnot. There was some applause. Then Prince Juan stepped out of the crowd and approached the king with a rose in his hand. Each person then saw Major Hal take the rose from Prince Juan, and each person saw Major Hal promptly drop dead. I see. Some descriptions of the man's death were quite graphic. He convulsed, twisted, and spasmed. Said one witness. His mouth frothed like he was a rabid lunatic, and said another. Thank you, Inspector. I think we get the picture. Are the testimonies trustworthy? I saw nothing to give me doubts. But surely there's a possibility that these citizens were bribed or threatened. Falcon, I can understand having doubts about one or two testimonies, but are you really saying that these 22 people were coerced? That's a realistic possibility that we must consider. Monsieur Falcon, I know a thing or two about the corruption. I've seen plenty of liars during my time as a police officer. A man can be bribed or threatened into reciting a lie. Perhaps 5 or 6 can maintain a consistent story. But 22, the seams of a lie show well before a bit then. It's just not possible. Well said, Inspector. Defense, don't waste our time by bringing up these stupid possibilities. Guilty for sure. This trial is a farce. Inspector, you say the coroner determined with certainty that Major Howell was killed by poison. Correct. He stated the signs and symptoms were textbook. There's no possibility that the death was natural. Aha. The coroner mentioned specifically what kind of poison it was? He was not certain. At first, the coroner posited that it was a plant-borne poison like the aconite flower. But when he learned of how fast the poison had taken effect, he noted that it was atypical of aconites. Consequently, he suggested that it may have been some newly engineered concoction. A newly engineered poison, you say? Well, that only reaffirms that this was a very deliberate assassination attempt. I need to work on consistent voices. This is awful. Indeed. Do you have another question about poison? Yes. How exactly was Major Howell poisoned? What was the delivery mechanism? His finger was pricked by the poison rose. He even commented out loud about it for seconds before dying. All 22 citizens who witnessed the murder attested to seeing and hearing this. Is there any possibility he was poisoned by something else? What an absurd thing to ask, JJ. You just heard 22 people saw the victim prick his finger and die. What are you suggesting? That the pricked finger had no relation to the poisoning? Yes. That's exactly what I'm saying. I don't doubt that Major Howell was poisoned, but I do doubt that the rose was the cause. Unbelievable. Only a total buffoon could fail to draw that blatant link here. JJ, as tempting as it is to sit here and lecture you on the basics of cause and effect, I'll end this discussion phase. Blah, blah, blah. Inspector, tell the defense that you found traces of poison on the thorns of Rose itself. That should alleviate all doubt that the rose was, in fact, the poison. Actually, I cannot tell him that. I dread to ask, but why not? We didn't check the rose for traces of poison. It just seemed obvious that the rose caused the poisoning, given the timing of the incident. Well then, now would be a good time to make a test. It's a marvelous thought. We pricked the finger of the defendant with the rose. If there was no poison on the rose, then Prince Juan lives, and he is free to go. If the rose is poisoned, then the prince dies. But that's okay, because the punishment would be just and fitting of the crime. A marvelous suggestion. What is this? A witch trial? This is this isn't America, Severin. That's not how we do things here. Oh my god.
Calm your feathers, JJ. It was clearly a joke. There are far more humane ways of testing for poison. I'm sure the inspector will perform his duty with due diligence. Actually, we won't be able to test the rose for poison at all. Why is that? Given the dangerous nature of the flower, it was destroyed by the police force. We burned it to ashes. Such unprofessionalism.
If we have no way to know whether the rose was poisoned, then this whole trial ought to be called into question.
Nice try, JJ. But through the process of reasoning by elimination, we can still deduce with absolute certainty that the rose was poisoned. In other words, there was nothing else left at the crime scene that could have caused the poisoning.
Wrong. There was something else at the crime scene that could have contained the poison. Something the investigative police blindly overlooked. Ta-da! Look at this. What am I supposed to be looking at? It is the paper wrapper to a piece of chocolate. It was found at the Louvre, the Salon to be precise, and we can date its consumption to the day of the incident. You're not suggesting that Major Howell ate a piece of poisoned chocolate moments before he died? I most certainly am. Innocent, perhaps? What a twist! Did you see this wrapper at the crime scene for yourself, Inspector?
The police force does not have the time nor the resources to trawl every piece of trash at every crime scene, I'm afraid.
In other words, you overlooked it. Astounding unprofessionalism. The prosecution is right to be disgusted. What a disgraceful display, Inspector.
I offer my apologies, Your Honor.
I don't want your apologies. I want you to do your damned job properly. Get off the witness podium before I kick you off myself.
As you wish, I'll take my leave. Until next time, messieurs.
So let me get this straight. This chocolate wrapper was found at the scene of the crime. At the crime scene. Correct. And you have reason to believe that it was consumed on the day of the incident. I do. I have an expert food tasting witness who is willing to testify if need be. You have a foodie witness? I don't recall anyone like that. Who on earth are you talking about, Falcon? Oh, I see. But do you know for certain that Major Howell consumed this chocolate? Well, that is a fact we are still investigating. I see. And do you have evidence that this chocolate was in fact poisoned? Again, that is something that may require a little more time to definitively prove. So then, in actuality, you do not have evidence that Major Howell consumed some poisoned chocolate. Instead, you have a solitary piece of rubbish that you plucked straight out of the gutter. That's weak, even for you, JJ. Let's move things along. I have another witness I would like to summon. He's a man who claims to have had an excellent view of the people going in and out of the Louvre at the time of the incident. I call upon Monsieur Toussaint Kingley. Could the witness please approach the stand and recite the oath? Hello. All right, the oath. I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Please state your full name and occupation for the court record.
My name is Toussaint Kingley, and I am a person who fishes. A person who fishes? So you are a fisherman? Hey, Chromosome. He's playing Stardew Valley. Oh, is that how it is? I thought the French justice system was better than this. I beg your pardon? Here comes Toussaint Kingsley, the kingfisher. Clearly, he must be a fisherman. Because, didn't you hear? All kingfishers are fishermen. Well, you are carrying a fishing rod. And, can a man not carry a fishing rod, reel, and bait without being branded a fisherman? Look, the prosecutor is carrying a riding crop. Clearly, he must be a horse jockey. Oh, for pity's sake. Fine. We can list your occupation as person who fishes, not fisherman. Thank you. Actually, why do you carry a riding crop, Zephyrin? I've never seen you ride a horse. I don't know, JJ. Why do you, a 30-something-year-old with no health problems, carry a cane? This is veering quite far off the course. Could the prosecution please get back to his questions? Of course, Your Honor. Monsieur Kingsley, is it true that you were nearby the Louvre at the time of the incident? Yes, I was sitting upon the railing of the Pont d'Art. The Pont d'Art? That's the new bridge. That's just a stone throw from the Louvre's south entrance, correct? That's right. And what were you doing at the time of the incident? I was fishing. Pfft, kingfishers. Am I right, Falcon? So you would have had plenty of opportunity to see the people who entered and exited the palace. Can you tell us who you saw? Well, the Louvre's a busy place. Naturally, I saw a lot of people. But at 9 a.m., I saw the king, Louis Philippe himself, enter the building. He was surrounded by his entourage, of course. Then, around 9:30 a.m., I saw this shifty-looking fox lurking around the entrance. Your Honor, I object to the witness's use of the term shifty-looking. It's a vague and biased description. No, really. He looked super shifty. I saw him rubbing his paws and cackling gleefully. Then I saw him take out a rose, carefully rub the stem. Rub the stem of a rose, you say? And if he were applying something to the flower, perhaps? Well, monsieur, I really shouldn't speculate. Of course, it was wrong of me to ask such a leading question. But yeah, it definitely looked like he was putting some sort of powder on it, the stem. Wow. Even I wasn't expecting such a bold admission. Members of the court, it sounds like what we have here is a direct witnessing of the defendant readying the murder weapon. The defense claims the rose was never poisoned, and yet here we have a man who saw the poison with his own eyes. I smell perjury. You do? No question. He saw a shifty-looking criminal readying poison and cackling near the scene of the crime? That's not believable at all. I think you might be right. I wonder if I have any evidence that caused Toussaint's story into doubt. Your Honor, I would like to cross-examine the witness. Really, this nonsense again. You just heard the witness directly describe your client readying poison on a rose. What is there to question? I'm just trying to uncover the truth, Your Honor. Ugh. Fine. Do your thing. Go on, Falcon. Go make a fool out of yourself. Da-da-da-da. Monsieur Kingsley, You say that you were sitting upon the railings of the Pont d'Art on the morning of the incident. Yep. Mr. Kingsley, you had a good view of the Louvre's south entrance, didn't you? Yep, the Pont d'Art is a great advantage point for seeing the Grand Gallery's south side. What about the other entrances? The other entrances? You mean like if we were entering from the Palace de Carlo? No, I couldn't possibly see those areas from the bridge. But of course, that isn't relevant. Monsieur Kingsley witnessed Prince Juan entering the south entrance with a flower in hand, and that's what counts. What if Prince Juan didn't enter from the south entrance? What if he approached the Louvre from... to the west? That's a big what if. Do you have any evidence that Prince Juan entered the Louvre from the Toulon? As a matter of fact, yes, I do. I have the definitive proof that Prince Juan approached from the west and not the south. Here, I know that so, monsieur. I'm doubtful too. Go on, JJ. Show us this definitive proof that Prince Juan entered from the Louvre. Un momento. Por favor. Necesito hydration. Okay. Look at this. A book page. Page 44 of Don Quixote, specifically. It was found just outside the Louvre's west entrance. I have a text message. I'm assuming from Karama. It's not. Never mind. This proves nothing. I'm not done yet. Take a look at this. Don Quixote. This is the book Prince Juan has been reading in jail since his arrest. I believe he has had it on his person for some time. And yes, page 44 is missing. That was the first thing I checked. You do realize what this means, don't you, Severin? The defendant was present in Tulle prior to entering the Louvre. This also means that, in all likelihood, the defendant entered the Louvre from the west entrance, not the south. He could not possibly have been seen by Monsieur Kingsley from the Pont d'Art. What? I know that's so, monsieur. A fine theory, Falcon, but maybe the defendant took the long way around. One can still travel from the Tower to the Louvre's south entrance by walking along the river. An extra 2 kilometers of walking just to enjoy the pre-murder scenery? Let's not say silly things, Cocorico. Okay, maybe the defendant deliberately left the page there that mislead the investigation. Now you're the one who's blindly speculating. It's not blind speculation, it's a viable hypothesis. Hypothesis. You are a friend of logic, aren't you, Cocorico? Let's talk about Occam's razor. When torn between two seemingly equal hypotheses, we must side with one that imposes the fewest assumptions. Which of these theories takes fewer assumptions? 1. The page from Prince Juan's book fell out on his way to the Louvre's south entrance. 2. Prince Juan deliberately planted the page on the off chance that it would be discovered. Then he took the long way around. How dare you? The nerve of you to lecture me on such basic philosophical concepts. I'll stop lecturing you when you stop making such basic mistakes. Monsieur Falcon, please calm yourself. This is what is the point of all this yammering? The ultimate point is that Toussaint's testimony is fabricated, made up, utter fiction. No, everything I said is the truth. I suspect the witness isn't even a fisherman. I'm not a fisherman. See, he admits it himself. That's not what I meant. What a twist. Pretty convincing. Prosecutor, you have something that will put this arrogant falcon in his place, don't you? I must concede. You concede? On this point, at least, Falcon's evidence strongly suggests that the key component of Monsieur Kingley's testimony is false. No! This doesn't mean that Prince Juan is innocent, of course. All Falcon has demonstrated is that this particular witness is unreliable. But I did see something, I really did. Alright, so maybe I didn't exactly see a shifty-looking fox. I made that part of the story up. But I did see a swan looking around the south entrance of the morning of the murder. A swan? Do shut up, witness. Your word is mud at this point. How can we possibly trust anything you have to say? Your Honor, Judge Romulus, we're out of time. We're 10 minutes overdue to start the Hare v. Tortoise trial. It's that late already. Curses. I was hoping we could have the case wrapped up in a single trial session. It is a shame, but ultimately an accurate sentencing is always preferable to a speedy sentencing. Yes, all right. I don't need to hear your moralizing. Court will resume this Friday, the 21st of January at 9 o'clock. Don't be late. Prosecutor, do your damned job. Get this stupid fox a conviction already. I will do my best to ensure that justice is served, Your Honor. That came up in that trial, huh? Yeah, no doubt about that. But something's bothering me. Why should that fisherman guy, Monsieur Kingley, lie on the witness stand? Well, it's possible that he was coerced or bribed. That's just what I was thinking. Maybe the real murderer threatened the fisherman into making up a story about Prince Juan. Beg pardon, one moment. Let's keep an open mind. Anything is possible at this stage. But to be perfectly honest, something else is bothering me about the trial. Mademoiselle Signy. I believe that she plays a key part in this case, but getting her to tell her story is proving difficult. Surely you don't think she's the real murderer? Excuse me, Monsieur Falcon. Sorry to bother you, but, this letter just arrived. I think it's for you. A letter for me? I wonder why it wasn't sent to my office. Have you been demoted to courtier status, Rupert? Oh, hush, hush, Sparrowson. I don't need to be pitied by a first-year dropout. Ooh, good comeback. Oh, good comeback. So what does the letter say, Falcon? It's a threat. A threat made with cut-out newspaper letters.
Whoa. I didn't know those things actually existed. Let me see. Falcon!
Stop your investigation or there will be consequences. Mocking SpongeBob meme.
Scary.
There's no question that this letter originated from Major Howell's murderer. He or she must be aware that we are getting close to uncovering the truth.
Sounds about right. But why would a person write with cut-out newspaper letters like this?
Masking one's handwriting would be the most common reason. Although I can't help but wonder why they would bother, since we don't have any handwriting samples to compare it to.
We're still going ahead with our investigation, though, right?
Oh, yes, absolutely. If a lawyer were deterred every time they received a threatening letter, they would never get any work done. Besides, with only 3 days before the next trial session, we can't afford to be worrying about petty things like this.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Wow, you're right. Let's make those days count.
A new day. A whole new day. Hi. What? Huh?
Nothing. I'm like, I'm here to do work. I did my other work that I need to take a break around, so I'm gonna do this
Okay.
while you finish up.
Okay. Still don't have any idea who the chocolate purchaser might have been, so we're gonna go to here. Really? Really? Really?
Ooh, customers.
Hello? Is this the office of Renard Volpe?
Ah! It's you two.
Mousy? What are you doing here? Oh, this is
Where work?
See, R&M, Renard and Mousy. Monsieur Renard Volpes and I carry out all sorts of investigations together. Although, to be completely honest, it's normally Monsieur Volpes who chooses which cases to take on. Mousy, we have a message for you. It's from Prince Juan himself. He wants to know if the birds have flown south for the winter, whatever that means. Oh, yes, the birds have migrated successfully. But, monsieur, I mean, Prince Juan told you that. Then that must mean he trusts you. He must want you to take these. Go on. Take them back. Or take them. These are unused train ticket stubs. Looks like 2 people took a railway trip to Vienna. What exactly is the point? What exactly is the point of this, Mousy? Prince Juan said that they would help with the trial. See the names. Matthias Signy, Nicholas Signy. I recognize the surname, but I don't know who these people are. Neither do I, really. Monsieur, I mean, Prince Juan just told me to book train tickets for these people and then make sure they caught the train. And so that's what I did. Strange. I'm not sure exactly how these stubs are supposed to help with the trial, but I'll keep hold of them just in case. Interesting. Let's go, Sparrowson. I'm done playing courier.
Good call.
I know his name now. try this one more time. Is there any chance that your produce could have been contaminated? Absolutely not, monsieur. I stand by my claim that my chocolate is the finest in all of Paris. I go to great lengths to ensure that the highest quality is ensured. Any contaminations would be terrible for business, you understand. I see. Was there something else you messieurs wanted to ask? Let me think. Who to ask about? Have you ever served a tiny mouse named Mousie? No, monsieur. Mice terrify me. Hi. Have you ever served a fisherman named Toussaint Kingsley? He's not a fisherman, Falcon. He's a person who fishes. That just happens to be a kingfisher. I don't have time for semantic games, Sparrowson. In any case, no. I have not encountered such an individual, messieurs. Let me think. Have you ever served a hairy wolf in judicial robes named Judge Romulus? Yes, monsieur. Oh my. All right. Have you ever served... Well, wait, did you just say yes? Yes, monsieur, a wolf in judicial robes. I did serve a person like that a little while ago, on the 6th of January, to be precise. Did he say or do anything suspicious? Not that I can recall, monsieur. He was a pleasant fellow, big toothy grin. Bought 200 grams of classic dark Belgian chocolate with custom filling. A custom filling? Some type of caramel. He provided it himself. Although he unfortunately did not bring enough for me to sample. Oh my. What does this mean, Falcon? Well, we shouldn't make assumptions. It may just mean the judge liked to eat chocolate. But if the judge's purchase is related to the wrapper at the crime scene, then... Monsieur Hagelslack, do you think I could get a copy of Judge Romulus's receipt? I can do you one better, monsieur. I have the original right here. I keep them for tax purposes, you understand. Is it okay for us to take it, monsieur? Absolutely. Memorizing the receipt's contents is trivial, after all. We have a chocolate receipt. Would you look at this thing? Judge Romulus signed it in green ink. Green ink! I knew Judge Romulus was shady, but only truly villainous people write in green. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Hagelslack. You have been enormously helpful. I'm glad to be of service. I'm glad to be of service. I wish the best of luck with your case, messieurs. Feeling pretty confident about this case. The big picture is coming together nicely. We didn't manage to work out what Prince Juan was hiding, but that's okay. I'm sure everything will go smoothly at the trial. We've still got 1 day until the trial, but how to spend it? I suppose we could revisit the Louvre, or maybe we should just play some cards at La... Is something wrong, Sparrowson? You're being unusually quiet. Falcon, we need to talk. What's up? See, I was doing some thinking. Dangerous thing to do, I know. Anyway, I realized that we were missing a crucial piece of evidence. What evidence would that be? Well, we know Major Howell consumed a piece of chocolate before he died, and we know that he died of poisoning. But we still aren't sure that the chocolate was the cause. That's true. If we keep pushing the chocolate theory, Cocorico will almost certainly bring that up. So I thought to myself, if one were to consume the wrapper itself, then that may provide proof of whether it contains traces of poison. Well, sure, that could work, but it would be incredibly foolish. Wait, were you thinking of eating the wrapper, Sparrowson? Maybe. Well, stop those thoughts right now. I'm not going to let you potentially kill yourself like that. Heh. I knew you would say that. That's why I already consumed the wrapper. 45 minutes ago. Sparrowson? Sparrowson! Doctor, is Sparrowson okay? Well, he's not conscious right now, but he is stable. I think it's safe to say that your friend is not on his deathbed. Oh, thank God. How did you say this happened again? It's a long story. Lawyering occupational hazard. Doctor, can you tell me what poison caused this? I have no idea, but I'm an expert in mental health, not toxicology. But I have sent for a specialist who should be here by tomorrow morning. He will make a full assessment. That's good to hear. Thanks, doctor. Take good care of him. Wait a moment. There's the matter of the bill. We'll have to discuss it later. I have an important case to prepare for, and I'm one partner down. I see you. Well, rest assured, the friend is in good hands. This is terrible. What the hell was Sparrowson thinking? I can't win a case like this. You! I finally found you. Did someone say something? Running around like a headless chicken. You're one tricky lawyer to find. I told you to drop the investigation, but you just wouldn't listen. Who's speaking? I can't see you, monsieur. Step forward. All right, I'll step forward. But it'll be the last thing you'll ever see. Au revoir, J.J. Falcon. Did it work? Ah, Dame Cataline. I can't believe how easy you were to fool. I put on a cutesy voice and acted all innocent, and you made the whole thing up. I made no mistakes. I did my duty as a lawyer. Your duty put an innocent man on death row, Monsieur Falcon. I hope you're proud of that. It wasn't my fault. Hey, where are you going? Out of my way, Severin. I'm not done talking to Dame Cataline. It wasn't my fault. Is that the excuse you make after all your failures? I'm not making excuses. Failure after failure. No desire to improve yourself. You're a joke of a lawyer, JJ. Don't call me JJ. That's all you have to say? How pathetic. You don't even deserve to stand in your grandfather's shadow. My grandfather? I'll prove you wrong. I can do better. Oh, it's you, Sparrowson. Have you come to berate me too? What? No. I'm just here to tell you to wake up. Wake up, monsieur. Wake up. Hey, can you hear me? I said wake up. Interesting. Come on, monsieur, wake up. I said wake up. You're starting to worry me. Oh, thank goodness. I wasn't sure whether I would have to find a doctor or a mortician. Ugh, my head. Where am I? The Pont d'Art. You know, by the Louvre in Paris, France. I just fished you out of the Seine. Nearly broke my rod doing it. Wait, I know you. You're that disrespectful lawyer guy. Giro Falco or something. What time is it? Actually, what day is it? You hit your head pretty hard, huh? It's the 21st of January around the 9 o'clock in the morning by my reckoning. 21st, 9 o'clock. Oh no, the trial. I should have been at the Cour des Asses 10 minutes ago. Well, you're running late, But take it easy, monsieur. I'm sure they'll be understanding. Maybe if I sprinted. In your condition, that would be stupid. Take a seat. Clear your head. I'll go get some dry clothes. No time. Wait, monsieur. At least take this before you go. What is this, the dip pen? No, wait. It's a modern fountain pen. Bone handle. Gold nib. This is very fancy. Thanks, monsieur, but this isn't mine. Really, are you sure? You were holding it pretty tightly when I found you. I was holding this? I suppose it has to be mine. Thanks, fisherman. I owe you one. Hey, don't call me a fisherman! Guy's great. It's 9 o'clock. I believe it's time for the roll call. If the defense not present. Such unprofessionalism. If there is no defense, then the trial cannot proceed any further. We must make a ruling based on the evidence that has already been presented. I will now converse with the jury. We shall decide whether Prince Juan is guilty of murdering Major Howe and of conspiring to murder the king. Your Honor, may I have a word? Fine, but make it quick. I'm a firm believer that a trial must be orderly and punctual. There is no room for wishy-washy dilly-dallying. But it seems somewhat rash to end a trial the moment it is due to start. Perhaps it would be prudent to wait 5 or 10 minutes, in case the defense is just a little tardy. Then the trial still has a chance to proceed, and justice will be served. You are the prosecution, are you not? You have nothing to worry about. A guilty verdict is all but guaranteed. Your Honor, you appear confused. I'm not here to secure a guilty verdict. Of course you are. You are a prosecutor. By definition, you're here to prosecute. No, my job description is to prosecute. But I am here in this courtroom to ensure that justice is served. An unfair and unbalanced trial is not the spirit of justice. That's very noble of you, but if the defense is absent, then there is little that can be done. I'll hear no more about the matter. I will now talk with the jury. The defense is present, Your Honor. What? You're too late, Falcon. Monsieur JJ. Monsieur JJ. You look like a total mess. Did you take a morning swim in the sand or something? Something like that. Your Honor, we are all present. We are only 3 minutes over schedule. Let's not needlessly dirty the pure name of justice. Rules are rules, prosecutor. Clearly JJ. Falcon clearly has no respect for legal procedure. Frankly, turning up while looking like a drowned rat, I ought to hold him in contempt of court. Your Honor. But Your Honor, rules are rules. One more word out of either of you, and I shall have you both disbarred. It's a pity. The King of France was most looking forward to standing behind the witness podium. The King of France? He's here? Oh, are we not doing the trial after all? That's a pity. Your Majesty, what a surprise. We are, well, you see. You know, it's my 7th time testifying against a would-be assassin. But it's the first time seeing a trial where the case has ended before it even began. Well, defense, he was late and, oh, pish-posh. France didn't become a great and dignified kingdom through rigorous punctuality. Let's go ahead with this trial. It'll be fun. Look, I say the oath to get it started. I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Did I get that right? That was perfect, Your Majesty. JJ, I trust you have no objections with the king testifying? No objections here. Go ahead with the trial. Going ahead with the trial is fine with me. And surely you wouldn't stand in the way of the king, would you, Your Honor? Gah! Fine. Proceed with this cursed trial. Excellent. Now, Your Majesty, could you tell us your activities on the day before the day... on the day of the murder? My activities? Well, I started my day with tea and toast, as I normally do, and I dressed in my PJs at the time. I think you can skip ahead a little, perhaps to your arrival at the Louvre. Right, of course. Well, my entourage and I entered the Louvre's south entrance by around 9 o'clock. We passed through the Salle de Trouble with little fanfare. At the Grand Gallery, I unveiled the new painting and gave a short speech to inspire the citizens who attended. That's when I was approached by a man claiming to be the Prince of Spain. He presented a rose, which was taken by Major Howell, and, well, I think you know the rest. Indeed we do, Your Majesty. Mesdames and Messieurs of the court, what we have here is another testimony that establishes Prince Juan's guilt. And this is no ordinary testimony. It is the testimony of perhaps the most trustworthy man in all of France. Oh, you flatter me, prosecutor. But I am the trustworthiest in all the kingdom, aren't I? I have no doubts, Your Majesty. Nonetheless, I would like to perform a cross-examination. How dare you doubt your king? The utter nerve. Oh, calm yourself, Judge. I have no qualms with standard legal procedure. Defense, please proceed. I want to see your best courtroom drama material. Neat. I get to question the king. Your Majesty, you say you passed through the Salle de Trouble uneventfully. Indeed, we stopped briefly to look at the paintings and then moved to the Grand Gallery. Could you elaborate? What did you see in the Salle de Trouble? What did I see? Well, Roman stuff, mostly. I meant, aside from the Roman artifacts. For example, did you talk to someone in the room who wasn't a member of your entourage? You're reaching, JJ. The king already testified that he passed through without encountering anything of interest. I have reason to believe that this was a key moment on the day of the murder. I want the king to elaborate on exactly what and who he saw. And I suppose you will have to proceed, Your Majesty. Alright, let me think. So there was that giant doorstop. And there was that copper urn thing. Oh, there was something else, now that you ask. I was offered a box of chocolates by some peasant mademoiselle. I haven't had that much of a sweet tooth, but Major Howell was keen to accept a chocolate or two on my behalf. What? Did I say something startling, prosecutor? No, please continue, Your Majesty. I think the prosecution is startled because he just came to the realization that I was not spouting drivel in the previous trial session. Well, that's debatable. To cut a long story short, Your Majesty, this mademoiselle may hold some relevance to the case at hand. Could you describe her? Really? She's relevant? Well, let me think. I didn't get a good look at her face, but she was a sorry-looking swan. Probably in her late teens or early 20s. A young, sorry-looking swan, you say? I don't suppose you know her. I don't suppose her name was Swanson. Mademoiselle Signet? Signet. That sounds familiar. Why, yes. I think that was it. She was called Mademoiselle Signet. I see. This is undoubtedly significant. Mademoiselle Signet gave chocolates to Major Howell minutes before he died. Not just 1 minute. I see what you're alluding to, JJ. You're suggesting that the gifted chocolates killed the Major. But that line of reasoning holds no weight because the evidence is circumstantial. Circumstantial, my tail feathers. The king just testified that Major Hal ate chocolates. Yes, that much is no longer in dispute, but you still have not proved that the chocolates were poisoned. Without that, we must assume that the swan was merely offering a gift, rather than speculating that she is a murderer.
Yes, yes. Shame on you, defense, implicating a poor, innocent girl like that. Absolutely disgusting. Why, I ought to end this trial.
Hold on, I do have evidence that the chocolate was in fact poisoned. I don't believe you, JJ. If you had a piece of evidence that significant, you would have slammed it down already. Present it. Well, I can't. It's not really the evidence folder type of evidence. Why am I not surprised? The drama was just getting good. Why did you all suddenly go quiet? Well, Your Majesty, it appears that the defense has just had a realization of his own. That is, that he lacks the evidence to support his theory. Since he cannot continue with his argument, I believe the cross-examination has come to an end. See, I had the chocolate wrapper back in my office, and Sparrowson ate it. Stop, JJ. Stop while you have a little dignity. The results of whatever crackpot pseudoscientific experiment you perform do not constitute valid evidence. I think the trial is over, Your Honor.
About bloody time. You may take your leave, Your Majesty.
Very well, I am pleased that justice has been thoroughly served. Until the next assassination attempt, adieu, messieurs.
I will now deliberate with the jury.
Objection! Sorry, I've always wanted to do that. Sparrowson, are you okay? Yep, the doctor said I have an iron stomach. Most of the poison passed straight through me. Speaking of which, I would like to testify on that poison chocolate issue. I even got a doctor's note, see?
It's too late. The trial is over.
You can't be serious, Your Honor. The contents of that note could turn this entire trial on its head. You must allow it.
Why are you constantly arguing with me? I thought the job of a public prosecutor was to assist the judges.
I told you, Your Honor, my job isn't to get a guilty verdict. It is to ensure that justice is served.
I swear you are the worst prosecutor in all of France.
Go ahead, Sparrowson. Read the contents of the note for the court to hear. This patient, Sparrowson, was submitted to Aviary Hospital, where he displayed a variety of symptoms. These included profuse sweating, a rapid fever, and severe nausea. The patient was diagnosed with poisoning, probably originating from the plant known as aconite, aka monkshood, aka wolfsbane. When we questioned the patient, he admitted to having consumed a discarded chocolate wrapper, potentially carrying the poison. Examining the contents of the patient's stomach confirmed this to be true. As a mental health professional, I believe this patient to be clinically... we can skip that bit. Yada yada. Okay, here we go. Signed, Dr. Followit. Thank you, Sparrowson. I don't think I'll even need to question you. Between your note and the king's testimony, every angle of the chocolate wrapper business has been covered. Awesome. Wait. Did you say the king is here? You can get his autograph later. Right. So what happens now? Did I get cross-examined by the prosecution or something? To be honest, I see little to cross-examine.
Do your damn job, prosecutor. Cross-examine that little annoying liar of a bird. Tear his testimony to shreds.
Your Honor, he has a note signed by a medical professional, definitively proving that the chocolate wrapper from the crime scene was poisoned. We could nitpick the details or delve into the doctor's credentials, but I fear it would be a waste of the court's time. Nobody wants that.
So then, what the hell do we do now?
We do nothing, Your Honor. The poison wrapper has introduced an element of doubt into the case. The prosecution must accept that. But is the level of doubt reasonable? Is it significant? I think the members of the jury will agree. JJ's evidence is still tenuous. Tenuous? A step above circumstantial. You have proven a link, a not wholly illogical link, but you haven't proved beyond doubt that Major Howell was killed by the chocolate. You are still making far too many assumptions. Where is the empiricism that is required by any good court of law? Where are the witnesses who can back up your claims? Oh, I brought a witness. I brought along a witness. Maybe she can help. Hello? You. Sparrowson, it's great to see you on your feet, and you've been an enormous asset to this case. What are you trying to pull off now? Surprise witness. Surprise witness? Yeah, I remember you mentioning that Cocorico liked calling surprise witnesses, so I thought we would beat him at his own game. I brought the flower girl, Mademoiselle Signy, so that she can testify about Prince Juan's character. You're putting me in a difficult position, Sparrowson. Just moments before you arrived, we, the court, established that Mademoiselle Signy is a possible suspect for this case. What? That can't be right. Sparrowson, it's okay. Monsieur Falcon, I would like to testify. You want to testify? Do you understand what you're agreeing to? I do. I have accepted my fate. Prosecutor, do you have any objections to me calling upon Mademoiselle Signy as a witness? No, none. Bearing in mind, of course, that you are here to defend Prince Juan, and not to convict Mademoiselle Signy. Prosecuting is my job. Of course.
I have no objection to either. Please proceed, witness. Speak the oath.
The oath?
Say that you swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
I swear, Your Honor. I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Good. Very good.
Please state your name and occupation for the record. My name is Catherine Marie Signy. I am a flower seller. Mademoiselle Signy, tell the courtroom of your activities on the morning of 7th of January. Very well. I saw the king and his entourage enter the Louvre around 9 o'clock. I followed. When they came to a stop in the salle de Louvre, I stepped forward and offered the king a chocolate. He refused, but a guard, a big dog by the name of Maitre Howell, was happy to oblige. The guard died because I, personally, had previously added the poison to the chocolates. No, that can't be right. I used poison derived from monkshood, a notoriously dangerous plant. As a flower seller, it was simple to acquire. Why did you do it, mademoiselle? Why? Monsieur, people have tried to kill the king before, and people will try again. He is a vile man who has no respect or love for the people who suffer under him. I did it for the French people. I don't believe that at all. Falcon, say something. Mademoiselle, are you being coerced or threatened? Speak freely. No, monsieur. I am confessing of my own volition. It is my guilt and no one else's.
Well, defense, it looks like you have wormed a confession out of this murder dispute. I suppose that gets your client, Prince Juan, completely off the hook. Lucky you. So, shall we wrap this court session up?
No, not yet. I have further questions for the witness, Your Honor.
Further questions? To what end? You've already proved your client's innocence.
I wish to uncover the truth.
You aren't here to uncover the truth, you're here to defend Prince Juan, and you've done that job with a disgusting level of diligence.
Nonetheless, I believe the mademoiselle has omitted something of huge importance. I wish to question her further. Something of huge importance.
I won't allow it.
Fine. Can I at least show something to the witness?
You and the prosecutor are a right pair of moralizing blowhards, aren't you? You are doing my head in. Fine, if it will shut you up, I will let you show one magical mystery item to the witness. I can't imagine you'll have anything up your sleeve to change the flow of this trial, though.
Monsieur Falcon, save it. I have nothing more to say. Oh, yeah? Please take a look at these, mademoiselle. Train ticket stubs? Look at the names. Papa and Mama. In Vienna? Really? Are they really safe?
They are. The tickets were arranged courtesy of the Fox.
Then that means the wolf has nothing to hold over me. I can speak freely.
Indeed. Go ahead, mademoiselle.
What are you two muttering about down there?
I'm amending my testimony, Your Honor. Members of the court, everything I've said today has been the truth. I did go to the Louvre on the 7th of January. I did present a box of poisoned chocolates to the king. Except it was not of my volition. I was threatened. I was forced to carry out the task under threat of harm. You see, my family has been struggling to get by. The winter has been harsh, and my flower business has been struggling. One day a man approached me, a man I assumed to be kind-hearted. This man offered me 200 francs to get us through the cold, but I could not afford to repay the debt. When I attempted to bargain with the man, he offered me a deal. Assist him with murder, and he would drop all debts. Refuse, and he would ruin me and my parents. I obliged because the alternative meant death for those who I love. The name of the man who did this is Judge Romulus.
Ha! What a creative story. This is obviously a last-minute desperate attempt at passing the buck. The sheer laziness of this girl to accuse a man she's never met before. She's blatantly floundering.
Indeed, I've heard dozens of these self-pitying yarns during my time as a prosecutor. Although, admittedly, this is the first time I've seen a witness directly accuse a judge. Quite a brazen gambit. But in any case, these sort of stories never turn out to be true. They are always proven to be fabrications born of desperation.
I've never been more honest, monsieur.
Listen, Mademoiselle Signy, I would like to believe your story, but accusing a man, a judge no less, of conspiring to murder the king is a hugely serious accusation. Do you have any proof to support your story?
Proof?
You say the judge lent you money. Then you both must have a signed contract when you made the transaction. The contract would suffice as proof.
The contracts were all verbal. He said the money was a gift at first, and only later said that I had to repay him.
How convenient. Of course, this supposed contract doesn't exist. This mademoiselle has no proof because her story is a blatant lie.
Falcon, you have to do something. Do we have anything to link Judge Romulus to Mademoiselle Signy?
A link?
Of course. Members of the court, I know for certain that the Mademoiselle's story is true. I can say with certainty that Judge Romulus has made contact with Mademoiselle Signy in the past. I know this because at this very moment I am holding a key piece of evidence that links Judge Romulus directly to the crime scene. I think you should take a look at this, Severin. Me? You don't trust it in the judge's hands?
What? What is that? What does that piece of paper say?
It's a receipt for a box of chocolates from Landers Hagelslacks Chocolate Emporium on the 6th of January, made out to a man named Romulus. The writing upon the receipt is clear. A man named Romulus bought chocolates on the day before the murder. These chocolates happen to have the same brand and flavor as the ones that were used in the royal assassination attempt. By itself, the evidence would not be definitive. It would only suggest that the judge has something of a sweet tooth, but taken in conjunction with the Mademoiselle's updated testimony, that would imply the judge was directly involved in the assassination attempt. Judge Romulus, do you have anything to say about this?
Yep. That receipt's not mine. I haven't stepped foot in a chocolate shop in years.
You can't be serious. The receipt is indisputable proof of your purchase.
Indisputable? Watch me dispute it. What you have there is a scrap paper with the word Romulus scrawled on it. It is a forgery. Is it a forgery? Are there simply two men named Romulus living in Paris? I don't have a clue. But what I do know is that you have nothing to prove that I was the one who signed that receipt.
This is absurd. Do you want me to dig up court documents with your signature so we can undertake a handwriting analysis? That wouldn't be possible. I believe His Honor uses a rubber stamp for signing off on official court documents.
That would be correct.
Well, it's no matter. I don't need the judge's signature. I already have in my possession proof that the signature on the receipt belongs to Judge Romulus. Ooh, it's the pen. Oh, but first things first. I believe you dropped your pen, Your Honor.
Oh, yeah, that's mine.
Thanks, I've been looking for that thing everywhere. I thought as much. Madame and Monsieur, last night I was assaulted outside Saltpierre Hospital. I did not see the assailant's face, but I did accidentally grab something from their garments as I was thrown into the Seine. Oh, so that's why you smell like fish. I wouldn't say something, but I thought it might be rude. This fountain pen is the very item I grabbed.
Did I say that pen was mine? On closer inspection, I see I must have been mistaken.
Save it, Your Honor. I'm not here to press assault charges. What interests me most about this pen is the ink it contains. It is emerald green in color. And as we all know, only baddies write in green. Well, yes, but more importantly, it's a rare and unusual choice of ink color. I would venture that only a dozen people in all of Paris are arrogant enough to write in green. And I would venture that only one of those arrogant people is named Romulus. So Judge Romulus lacks respect for classic penmanship. What of it? Take another look at the chocolate receipt, Severin. The receipt was signed with emerald green ink.
It's certainly quite a coincidence.
No, there is no room for no more room for coincidence. There's no more doubt. There is only one narrative that can tie this ridiculous string of evidence together. On the 6th of January, you, Judge Romulus, bought a box of chocolates with a custom filling. That custom filling contained poison, originating from the flowers of Mademoiselle Signy, a street seller who owed you a debt. On the 7th of January, you, Judge Romulus, leveraged that debt to force the girl to present the poisoned chocolates to the king. Then an idiot of a man by the name of Juan framed himself as the murderer in order to take the fall in Mademoiselle Signy's stead. You pushed for Juan's guilt by priming a witness in Monsieur Toussaint Kingsley. And when that failed, you pressured Mademoiselle Signy to take full responsibility for the crime. That is the only narrative that makes sense. Admit it.
Fine, I do admit it. I did it. I purchased the chocolates, I added the poison. I put a peasant girl in debt just so I could force her to take the fall. I was the one who wanted the king murdered. But there is not a damn thing any of you can do about it. I am the one who holds the gavel. I am the one who passes the sentences. With a snap of my fingers, I could have each and every one of you guillotined at the Palais d'Atremouille before nightfall.
Hello, dog.
Who judges the judges? Who stands above me? Nobody. Not even God can condemn me when I sit so highly.
Attempting to murder a king, corrupting a court of house. What an utterly repulsive individual.
Don't touch me, you dirty pig. You have no authority over me.
He doesn't, but I do. Take him away, Inspector.
I'm not done. I'm not done with any of you. You're all guilty, you'll see. A revolution is coming. The rebels will overrun Paris. The king and government will fall. The bourgeois will be slaughtered. We shall have a glorious second republic, a republic free of class, where everyone is free and equal.
Yeah. Nah.
Hey, don't touch me.
Just another ranting lunatic, Your Majesty. Ignore him. Of course. Carry on, Inspector. Yay. What? What happens now? I guess I'm supposed to take over the president judge's duties? Well, given the surprising series of revelations that just took place, we believe that the results are clear. We find the defendant, Prince Juan Corrido, To be cleared of all charges, we therefore find the defendant not guilty. Not guilty. This guy's actually not guilty. What? What happens to me now? Mademoiselle, it is clear you were coerced. However, you still played a significant role in the king's assassination attempt. By all rights, you must be tried for your crimes. I see. I cannot argue. But as it happens, due process was not allowed during this trial session. Judge Romulus thoroughly disrupted the proceedings. Consequently, I believe that most of the testimonies given during this trial session would not be seen as valid in a court of law. What does that mean? He's saying you're free to go. Correct. As a prosecutor, I see no crime to prosecute. Really? Thank you so much, monsieur. And thank you, messieurs. Without your help and assurances, I don't know where I would be right now. So, are my parents really in Vienna? I think so, but you would have to ask the Fox for details. I don't know exactly what he arranged. Although now that Judge Romulus poses no threats, I suppose your parents would be free to move back to Paris. Actually, I may follow them to Vienna. You need a holiday after all this drama? Well, yes. But also I want to get away from here before the fighting starts. You mean the revolution Judge Romulus mentioned? He doesn't seem mentally stable. I'd pay him no mind. Not just him, monsieur. In the streets, everyone talks of an uprising. If you were smart, you would clear out of here too. Thanks for the concern, mademoiselle. But we're far from smart, so we're staying put. I see. Then good luck, messieurs, and farewell. Maybe we can meet again when this is all blown over. Wait, mademoiselle. Don't you want to have a quick celebratory drink? Oh, she's gone. So I guess it's just you and me and the Fox, right, Falcon? That sounds good, Sparrowson. Take Prince Juan back to the Aviary office. I need to sort out some paperwork with Severin. Okie dokie. I suppose congratulations are in order. Uncovering the truth in that way that you did, it was quite a feat. Everything went far better than I could have hoped, but you surprised me at the end with that little lie of yours. Lie? This trial's testimonies are completely invalid? Bullock. You and I both know that the trial has produced ample valid evidence for Mademoiselle Signy to be detained and tried. Even with the coercion accounted for, I bet she would still be found guilty of conspiracy or accessory to murder. So why are you holding back? 10, maybe 5, even 5 years ago, I probably would have prosecuted Mademoiselle Signy. When I was fresh out of law school, I thought my role as a prosecutor was to condemn every potential criminal that came my way. I thought, if the guilty person ends up behind bars on the hanging dock, then justice has been served. But as I gained experience, I started noticing the details. The details? The extenuating circumstances, the personal considerations, the gaps in the law. Even when due process is followed to the letter, good people are punished and wrongdoers walk free. I hated it, so I changed my role. I decided that I should not strive to secure a guilty verdict, but to ensure that justice is served. I could prosecute Mademoiselle Signy, and she would definitely be convicted. But that would not serve justice. You're a good lawyer, Cocorico. You're not terrible, Falcon. I must congratulate you, Senor Falcon and Senor Sparrowson. What am I doing? Still using that old accent? I, of course, meant congratulations, Monsieur Falcon and Monsieur Sparrowson. It's no big deal. We were just doing our jobs. No. Your job ended when you proved my innocence. Everything after that was going above and beyond your duties. Of course, I was counting on you to do so. A lesser lawyer would surely have stumbled or caved in. Oh, but I forget your payments. Thank you, Monsieur Vopus. This has been a strange case. but I'm glad the truth came to light. I'll see you out. Wait, Monsieur Vulpes? Before you go, something's been bothering me. Why did you come to us in the first place? Surely there are more reputable lawyers out there who could have done a better job. Oh? More reputable than Falcon that stands before me? Yeah, Falcon's got a sucky track record. True, he does have a mixed record, but his family name is hugely respected in the lawyering world. I chose Monsieur Falcon as my lawyer for that reason alone. Ah, really? I never heard of another lawyer named Falcon. Let's not go down this road, Monsieur Vulpes. Blah, blah, blah. That is fair. We shouldn't be fixated on the past, should we? After all, it's already been and gone. The future is where our potential lies. That's what we should be paying attention to. A storm is approaching fast. You mean the revolution that the crooked judge mentioned? Indeed, I dare say that Wolf is right. A rebellion is coming one way or the other. Listen, Monsieur Falcon, you'll probably have a set of work over the coming days. If you want me to dig up the dirt on anyone, please feel free to drop by my office at any time. Dig up the dirt? I am a private investigator. That's what I do. We'll bear it in mind. Thank you, Monsieur Vulpes. Good day, messieurs. I'm going to go get a drink. Seriously, Falcon? What? I was just going to ask if you wanted tea or coffee. End of Act 2. Alright, we'll stop there. Next time, we will do Act 3.